that, by the way? Oh, what part of state you live in? You know, and then they know. So now they know right off the bat that you're lying, and then they also find out down the line that that's the silent key. And then they stop talking to you, and they tell you that they're going to report you. That's kind of how that works. I don't know how I got on that subject, but I did. All right, so let's fold this over here. Actually, I think, I don't even know if it worked. Forgot I hadn't had this. These are good for multiple things. For vinyl, for spreading ink, for fingerprints. Now everything's electronic though. There's very few still using the ink. Now they just put it into the computer and it prints out your prints and it sends them to everybody instantly. So by the time they're done, they know if you're cleared or not. I want to put some weight on these. What did I do with the other one? Well, this one here seems to be pretty good, so I don't have to worry about this one. And I still have to work this one a little bit. I folded it over too quick, so I know that it's going to take a minute for the tackiness to actually get involved. See right there, the little bubbles? That's because I brought it over before. Maybe if I lift it up and put it back down, it'll help. Oh, that's not going to help because I didn't put any, what you call it on. But that was a smart move, Buzz. I put it on the rubber, but I didn't put it on the board. I don't have to put more on the rubber. Mine as well. I was wondering why it was popping up as much as it was. I mean, it should wait until it tacks up a little bit to start with, but I thought it should have been tacked enough, so. Make sure the edges are always done. If the edges aren't done, it's not going to work right. It'll lift eventually. Yeah, okay. Now, I forgot how I cleaned this brush last time. But I'm going to just leave it for now because I want to, I may have to use it again, that's what I mean. There we go. Man, I'm too busy throwing the shit. I'll make sure I push it up until it's nice and tight on the edges. I think we've got a deal, a plan, a deal. Yeah, we got a deal. Let's make a deal. I think we got a plan here, guys. I'm gonna let that sit for just a minute before I start to cut it. Otherwise, it's gonna just clump into the scissors. And meanwhile, let me wipe a little of the glue off the counter. I gotta pick up another can of that stuff. I use it a lot, actually. Throw that away. Put the roller back. I gotta remember next time I go to the store, I gotta get another roll of this, but a roll of the blue as well. Okay. I think we're pretty well set there. So let's just let that sit. I'm going to make a cup of tea. And then I'll come back with you guys. And I'll cut all this out so you're not going to see all this. Or all that. Are you getting dizzy? Put this on a 50-inch. Did I turn it off? I did not. Okay. Alright, you can sit there and watch the glue dry for a minute. I'm going to make a cup of tea. Did I just drop something? What did I do with my cozy? I bet you that's what I just dropped. Anybody see a cozy? I took the cup out of it. I thought I heard something drop, but it could have been me just stepping on something. Huh. Alright, let me go make my tea. Now, where's the cozy?
KC1EWG monitoring.
Yeah, okay. Oh, there it is. I did drop the cozy. Ah. You know, after that Dr. Hose, or Howes, or Who's, or whatever it is that I got on my side, on my shoulder, I think I've turned it on 3 times so far. at 20 minutes per time, but my shoulder's starting to feel better already. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to put it in massage mode. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So those are done. So we have that. And that's going to go right there. And another one's going to go right there. And then the two power supplies can go right there. This is a wonderful thing. The only thing I want to do is I'm going to do it right now actually. Maybe there's enough left on the brush. I want to put a little adhesive on this Velcro just to make sure that it doesn't let loose someplace. Well, I got that little cutter over there I wanted to finish up today too. I don't know if you guys remember that or not. I need something to put a little of this on. Oh, that's why I have all this crap put over there. I knew I didn't clean the brush for a reason. That should do it. So I have to make a note. I need contact cement. Roll of rubber, black shelf lining, and blue or black workout pad.
Rescue 2, Rescue 5, Medic 2, Priority 241 Red Hill.
That's that. So, I'm back, guys. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting which way I have the camera. I've got to get another camera. So, if anybody has any ideas, what I'm looking for is a non-Chinese piece of crap. Now, I'm not saying that because that's a Chinese piece of crap, and it doesn't do all that bad, to be honest with you, for 50 or 60 bucks or 70 bucks. I don't even remember what I paid for it. I got another one in the van that was 50, I think. This one may have been 60. But I'm looking for more of a camcorder type, you know, one that fits in your hand more so than these little ones. These little ones drive me nuts. And I want it to have, it doesn't have to be 4K, but I like it to be a true 1080. And I want it to have a remote zoom.
Roger, Rescue 5 responding.
And I really don't want a digital zoom. I mean, sometimes they come with a digital zoom, even though they have the optic zoom. But I would prefer to have an optic zoom because you get a cleaner picture on the zoom than you do on the digital. And usually, if it has optic zoom, it has digital zoom anyway. So that's what I'm looking for. If anybody has any ideas or has one that they use and like it, and they want to let me know about it. And I really don't want to spend much more than $300. Oh. If that was the case where I didn't care, I would just call up B&H and order one of those big shoulder cams that I borrowed that time from the TV station over here. Because that was nice. That was killer. And the Panasonic I had a great zoom on it, but I didn't care for the camera at all. Not at all. The Canon 80 and the 800 I had, the R80 and the R800. Again, both good cameras, but it didn't have a remote zoom. It had the little zoom button up here, but it didn't have the remote zoom. I want to be able to have it so I can put it up there or over there. And if I'm doing something, I can just hit the zoom so I don't have to keep reaching up and screwing around with it. But anyway. Oh, I was going to say we have no sweets in the house. We ran out of everything. But I just found this over here in my stash. So now I'm going to eat while I'm talking to you, which I normally don't do. So that's that. Let's get this wrapped up. I think I have a little bungee cord. So I can use to kind of hold this together. I just don't know where I'll put it. I got a lot of straps, so I don't want to use them. I have tons of this stuff. This stuff I used to use when I covered the boat. If you're going to use a tarp to cover your boat, using this is great because it'll keep the tarp from breaking and tearing, and it'll still hold everything down for you. Okay. Let's cut this little puppy if I can find my scissors again. Me and those scissors, you know this? Okay. So for now, until I get the hooks on it, I'm just going to tie it. I'll put a couple hooks on it before I actually put it away. That'll keep it from flopping around on me. Yeah, if you take a tarp, first of all, people make big mistakes. They buy it too small. They're looking to save $1 and it doesn't work. Especially if you have a radar arch on your boat. You can't look at your boat as being flat. Oh, it's only 8 feet wide, and it's only 20 feet long. So if I get a 24 by 10, it's not gonna work. Not gonna work. If you have a windshield on the boat, you just ate up a couple of feet off the sides. Got a radar arch off the boat, they can stand as much as 5, 6 feet tall. Yeah, the boat's 8 or 10 feet wide, but 12 foot is not going to happen. It's going to be partially over the arch. You're done. So you have to measure all that, take that into consideration. And you're going to have a lot left over in spots. You want to make sure it's long. You want to bring it down about 1.5 feet below the rub rail. Depending on the boat, but you want to definitely go below the rub rail. And 1.5 feet down, or even down, if you go down to the beauty line, the water line, you know that little pinstripe across the bottom of the boat? That's the best way to do it. Because then you don't have to worry about anything rubbing against the boat. You know, where you tied the tarp to it or something like that. Let me have one here, I'll put it on in. You know those black bungee cords? They have the little metal hooks on them. One of the guys at the boatyard decided he wanted to do his own boat. He buys a tarp, a blue tarp. And he drags it down about midway. Then he ties another rope around below the water line. He gets those black bungee cords on every eyelid. It held, however, the following spring when he undid it, all those metal hooks on the tarp rubbed into the gel coat and actually scraped right into it. Now he has to get that fixed, otherwise moisture is going to get in there, and the next thing you know, his boat's shot. So, getting it below that is good. Now, how I did it was, I racked the boat, I bring the tarp, I always buy big. I'd rather have big tarp, so it comes down almost to the bottom. Then I take this stuff and I weave it, I sew it in and out of the eyelids under the boat, under, in, out, under, in, back and forth. And then when I get to the front, you're doing a lot of tucking and a lot of weaving, and shrink wrap tape is pretty good, or even a good duct tape, but shrink wrap tape, not that you're going to really shrink it, but it sticks well. And in the back, I used the same stuff, and I strung it under with the eyelids, under to where the crosses went, and the same with the front. Sewed it together, stitched it up underneath to the crosses. This your way, when the tarp does this, the bungee cord moves, and it's moving in unison. It's not just tugging on one. Never had a ripped tarp, never lost a tarp, never had a problem. Now another guy had a good way of doing it, and it worked for him. I would never do it, but it worked for him. he got a tarp, oversized, naturally. That's the main thing, getting an oversized tarp. Don't be cheap, because, you know, the boats aren't cheap. If you can't afford to take care of it, get rid of it. But he bought a tarp, oversized, where it hung down to the bottom. And what he used to do is, with a short piece of bungee, just up here, he would tie it, and he'd put a gallon of water, not filled to the brim because water freezes. You know, so he left enough room for expansion. I don't remember what he said, but I would say he probably put about 2/3, you know, maybe a little less. But meanwhile, he hung a gallon of water off each eyelid. That's all he did. And he never had a problem. Now, he had a 22 foot. I don't know how it would work if you had a bigger one, but he never had a problem with it. I wouldn't say that that's something I would try, but now the best way is buy heat shrink. You can buy it by the roll. You can either get it at like a marine store, West Marine, Boat US, or whatever you have out your way, or around your way, or get online and buy it. You know, and again, you want to make sure that it's big enough. And then what you do is, if you don't have a torch, a good heat gun works just fine. You strap it inside with strapping. And basically, you're giving yourself a frame, you know, like a rib cage. So you get some strapping. It's like 400 or 500 foot on a roll. It's cheap as all hell. So you just strap it. You may have to put a piece of wood across the top of the whole boat. Make sure you put padding under anything that is touching. But you run the strap. You don't want it flat. You always want it to be pitched. Otherwise, it's going to build up and you're going to end up having problems. And you run a strap about every 1.5 feet. And you throw the shrink wrap over it. Let it droop down over. Boom. You run a strap around the bottom of the boat, and then you take the shrink wrap and you bring it up under. Then you heat it up, have a set of gloves on, and pat it, and it'll stick to itself. Once you've done the whole perimeter, and you've got it all wrapped underneath and stuck to itself, then you just start doing the whole boat. And all the wrinkles come out, it tightens up nice, boom, right, and you're done. And it's stronger once it's been shrunk. Hey, baby. Oh, okay, I'm coming. Bye.
Roger, minus one question.
Yeah, I didn't expect her to be home that quick. All right. Oh, Tucker's back. Okay. Now, I'll tell you, once I get those two radios programmed, this bench will clear up, and it's basically done. But I just can't seem to get to that. There's always something that's getting in my way. Okay, so they look pretty good. The only thing is I got to cut this one off. I want to left a little extra on it. This here way it'll give me room for if I want to put Velcro on it, I can Velcro it and bend it. Because I have Velcro, I can either sew it or stick it on. It doesn't make a difference. And that'll work out just ducky. Now let me cut this piece off. Oh, I'm back over here, guys. This would be a good 360. Should have brought that one out. Next time. Okay, so these two pieces of rubber just in case I need them for something. Now I'll go back to this one. Hey boys. And girls. Okay, so these are basically done. Where can I put them? Sometimes I go through a lot of wood because when I first light it, the little bottom door we use to clean out the tray, sometimes I'll leave that open a little bit just to let a little bit more air in. It does have the door with the spring, so as it gets hot, naturally the door closes. But the more air, naturally the faster it burns. And if I forget to shut that little door, I burn a lot more. That little door that's spring loaded is almost like a thermometer because it opens and closes to let the heat or the fire burn or not burn too fast. Let me get this stuff and put all this stuff back so it's not in my way. I do have to find a home for this eventually. I just don't know where. Okay. I just want that to dry a little bit more so I don't get crap all over it. So while we're doing that,
Hello, Charlie 1 Echo Whiskey Golf monitoring.
let's do some bulk stuff. inches for each side. So that's 6, that's about 12. Okay, that's probably 13 or 14